We are walking down the avenue with packages in arm. Our shoe buckles glint in the filtered sunlight. The heat radiates off of the grime-covered asphalt of the road. Breathing is uncomfortable. The air hangs heavy and salty as a result of daily activities here. The street still remains crowded with common-day men and women cradling their packs wrapped in paper, mumbling, humming, and chatting without a care. A boy around my size, gripping his dad's hand, passes by. He has a smile and is holding a tin plate train. I tug on Papa's trouser leg and look up at his face. He looks different than every other grown-up on the street. His face looks cold and calculating, not a trace of a smile. His eyes half closed, playing with the buttons on his stained blazer. He ignores me. Papa keeps glancing at the tenements around us shiftily. A dirty-looking man is staring at us as we turn the corner. He starts walking behind us slowly, his raggedy old shoes scraping against the street, kicking up pebbles that hit the back of my legs. Papa leans down and snatches me up into his arms. He holds me so tight I feel like I'm going to suffocate. He runs. The last thing I see is the man's face, staring at us, confused, as he turns the corner. I remember the one day, not too long ago. Mama was holding my hand and Papa was carrying our packages, and it was almost Christmas time, and everyone was cheery. Papa was smiling and laughing. He leaned down and kissed my forehead, then my mother's. Everything was perfect. We were about to go get ice cream at the parlor. We passed by some dirty old buildings. Mama and Papa both stopped smiling, and the unease was almost tangible. There were people, all dirty and grungy, with more sweat upon their brow than smiles. Their clothing was nothing but nasty gray rags, and they looked upset, or maybe they were just confused. They wouldn't look at us. All of a sudden, screaming pierced the air. Behind us, well-dressed people were running, screaming and dropping their parcels everywhere. Mama was trying to run, but I pulled her back. I wanted to see what was happening. Mama wouldn't let go of me, but Papa ran. He must have thought we were right behind him. The crowd was running past us in the opposite direction. I almost got lost in the whirlwind of bodies and clothing. Some immigrant was standing in front of us. He was filthy, his hair a matted mess. His face was horrific, like a zombie straight out of a nightmare. His eyes were bugging out of his head and so very bloodshot. He was brandishing a knife, jagged and sharp. He walked slowly closer. Mama screamed and tried to run, but I held my ground and watched the man stalk us closer. People were flying past us still, confusing me. Papa saw us. He was fighting against the crowd to get to us, but I was perplexed by this man. A single tear rolled down his cheek as he knelt down and whispered in my ear, "Run, run, run as far away as you can. This world is evil and we can't escape it. No one can. Run, run please, my son." I let go of Mama's hand and ran towards Papa and grabbed at his trousers again. He tripped on me just as the man grabbed Mama and brought him to the ground. Papa grabbed me and ran with the crowd, leaving Mama, her screams filling the air. That day still confuses me. Everything changed after that. I never saw Mama again. Papa never was the same. Something changed within him. Without Mama, he was a mess, and he would only walk on the streets if he had to. Ever since that day, Papa looked more like the man who hurt my Mama than himself.
Here lies Gregory Smith. His life was very bleak, but ended in tragedy like no other. After immigrating here from Germany, he lived in a tenement with his wife and 2 children. When his wife and children all died in factory-related incidents, he broke down in utter mentality. His tragedy reached its climax when he brutally slaughtered multiple wealthy men and women on the streets near his tenement. He was tried and received the death sentence for his actions, regardless of the fact that he was mentally unstable. Hopefully now he rests in peace with his dear children and wife.